Hello again and welcome to another episode and our December 2023 short break to visit the Christmas markets in Vienna. Don't forget to check out all of the previous episodes, including our theme park holidays, cruises and short breaks right here on the channel. And if you enjoy any of the videos, please make sure you click on the like button, ring that notification bell to be informed of any future episodes, and make sure you subscribe. Now, it's been a long time since we'd been to a European Christmas market, and so this year we decided to find one that we hadn't been to before. I wanted a city that had much more to offer apart from the Christmas market itself, and somewhere we'd never been to before. I looked at Nuremberg, Bruges and Strasbourg amongst others, but in the end Vienna was perfect for us as it had so much to offer and the flights were a reasonable price and from Stansted, which is the easiest of the London airports for us. We stayed here at the NH Belvedere. It's a 4-star hotel located in the heart of Vienna's diplomatic quarter, and right next to the must-see Belvedere Palace, which you'll see more of later, and some beautiful botanical gardens. It's also within easy walking distance of the city centre and Old Vienna, and it's on the 71 tram route. There are plenty of bars and restaurants nearby, and inside the room was spacious, with very high ceilings and a large bathroom. It's set in a listed building which used to be the state printing offices, and at one time was where the country's stamps were printed. Now, when we decided to visit Vienna for a Christmas market, we had no idea there'd be so many. I reckon we must have visited at least 7 across the city. There are a number of palaces too, and the nearest to our hotel was literally a 3-minute walk away. And so, on our first evening, we decided to take a look at the Belvedere Palace, as this was also the setting for one of the city's many Christmas markets. As always, we like to walk wherever we can, but we did use the trams and the metro, using a Vienna City card with various options starting at €17. This proved to be excellent value with free use of transport, special offers and discounts to the museums and attractions. At some places you can even skip the ticket line. You can add this to the Vienna City app called Ivy to use from your phone, or you can actually redeem the card at an access point in the city. Vienna's first coffee houses opened in the 17th century. These days there are many and they're all about elegant surroundings with laid-back traditions. Order cake, take a seat and soak up your surroundings. The most famous of these is the Café Central. Our nearest restaurant and bar with its own brewery was called Salmbrau, and one we would certainly recommend. The listed building and extensive cellars are full of character and atmosphere, and the food and beers are excellent. Originally there were vineyards and a wine cellar here, owned by the Mayor of Vienna. In 1717 the vineyard was sold to the imperial court, and Empress Amalie Wilhelmina built a monastery with an adjoining widow's residence. Today's St George's Hall used to serve as a stable for the Empress's carriage horses. We visited lots of cafes, restaurants, bars and also ate at the various Christmas markets. And here are some of the places we would recommend. Now, the first thing we noticed when we began walking around the city was the incredible architecture. Baroque and neoclassical palaces evoke the glory of the Habsburg Empire, but you'll also see everything from Art Nouveau to 1960s brutalism. This is the Golden Strauss Memorial, located in the tranquil Stadtpark City Park. Now, as I said earlier, there are many Christmas markets here, where in the crisp winter air we took in the scent of everything from baked potatoes, fresh bread, strudel, candied nuts, cinnamon spices and more. Each of the markets draw you in with the glitter of 1,000 lights for a steaming mug of glühwein, and they seem to be given a glorious backdrop of a magnificent historical building. You're able to buy traditional Christmas and seasonal foods and drink, honey, jams, other delicacies, sweets and chocolates, decorations, handmade toys, jewellery and many more arts and crafts. Spittelsberg Market is a little different to the others in that it winds around narrow streets in one of Vienna's more bohemian quarters. Light spills out from the neighbouring bars and specialty stores, giving it a more cosy and local feel. The Biedermeier architectural surrounds make for a unique ambience, and the market also enjoys a strong reputation for a more unique kind of art and craft. The Hofburg is one of the most impressive areas of the city and was the former principal imperial palace of the Habsburg dynasty in Austria. It was built in the 13th century and expanded several times afterwards. Since 1946 it's been the official residence and the workplace for the President of Austria. It features a number of different squares, wings and museums, including the Sissi Museum. Sissi was the nickname of Empress Elizabeth, who lived between 1837 and 1898, the iconic wife of Emperor Franz Joseph, and the face that launched 1,000 commemorative mugs, books, postcards and films. Unfortunately, we weren't able to film or take photographs here, but the museum in the imperial apartments of the Imperial Palace has a number of highlights, from personal objects once owned by Elizabeth, as well as the most famous portraits of the beautiful Empress. The Stephansplatz market is perhaps the most central, as it's placed around the edge of Stephansdom. The cathedral makes a wonderful backdrop, and the market allows you to refresh yourself after strolling through the pedestrianised centre of Vienna. At One end of this market is the parking spot for the horse-drawn carriages that tour the city, which adds another level of historical atmosphere to the proceedings. This is the stunning Fürstel Passage. The Fürstel Palace was built between 1856 and 1860 and named after its architect. The passage was designed as a shopping arcade in the tradition of the great Parisian shopping passages. By the turn of the century, this passage had developed into something of a social scene. It was here that members of Vienna's high society met to shop, stroll and gossip. Walking through the passage today with its fantastic arches and glass roof takes you back to the height of the Habsburg Empire and the social lives of its leisure classes. It's a lovely place for some window shopping and an afternoon glass of wine. And just down the road is the Café Central. The most visited market is the Christkind market in front of the imposing Rathaus City Hall. A large Christmas tree dominates the centre, with dozens of surrounding stalls with all sorts of seasonal offerings. The adjacent park has plenty of Advent surprises too, from the Instagrammable tree full of glowing hearts to the illuminated ice skating routes. This is the Parliament building where the two houses of the Austrian Parliament conduct their sessions. The building is located on the Ringstrasse Boulevard near to the Hofburg Palace and the Palace of Justice. There are many churches and cathedrals in Vienna, and this is the votive church in Rooseveltplatz. When Emperor Franz Joseph survived an assassination attempt in 1853, his brother set up an appeal and had this huge church built as a thanks to God. It was completed in 1879. One place we discovered whilst in Vienna was the Sigmund Freud Museum. It was founded in 1971 and covers Sigmund Freud's life story. In 2003, the museum was put into the hands of the newly established Sigmund Freud Foundation, which has now since received the entire building as an endowment. The building was newly built in 1891 when Freud moved there, and you can see his old rooms where he lived for 47 years before fleeing the Nazis and moving to London in 1938. The museum consists of Freud's former practice and a part of his old private quarters, as well as the research institute of the Sigmund Freud Foundation. Here he produced the majority of his writings, and the building now houses a documentary centre to his life and works. The influence of psychoanalysis on art and society is displayed through a programme of special exhibitions and a modern art collection. So before we end this episode, I'll leave you with more of the festive sights and sounds of Vienna, a welcoming city full of character, stunning architecture and many hidden gems. And so that's it for now. In part 2 of our Christmas trip to Vienna, amongst other things, we'll visit the most popular palace for tourists and the city's most unusual building as we explore more of Austria's capital. Don't forget to take a look at the other videos on this channel featuring Caribbean and Mediterranean cruises, plus our visits to eco parks and theme parks in Mexico, the United States and Europe. You'll also find city breaks in the UK and Europe, as well as short breaks providing top tips, hints and ideas. And if you enjoy any of the videos here, you can really help the channel by clicking on the like button, ringing the notification bell and subscribing. And I hope you can join me next time on Main Street Martin.